Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another BScast. And by BScast, I mean Bronze Silver Cast, not a bullshit cast. Come on, what are you guys thinking about here? Anyways, we have a ZVT for you today, and in the bottom corner, bottom middle, we have Iconoclast, the blue Zerg, and in the top rightish area, we're just going to say top right, we have BigFan. So I wonder if BigFan is either a big fan of Iconoclast, or if it's literally a big fan, like one of those industrial-sized fans that blow air really bad, like really quickly and hard, so it feels really good in the summer, like if it's really hot out. Anyways, enough of my big fan rant. We have BigFan why did I say pylon? I'm like so stuck on like a Protoss cast because I've cast like a few of those games, but we have BigFan putting the supply depot right here in the corner to block it off. And we have Iconoclast going for the, he is at a 10 count right now, building 3 more drones. I'm just going to pull this up, this production tab, and he is going out with a drone here, and it looks like he may be going for either a 13 or a 14 hatch. Will we see him putting down this hatchery once he has enough minerals? He is saving up a little bit of minerals, and he is not using any of these, so it does look like he will be going for a 13 hatch. So the moment he has 300 minerals, will we see this being put down? And he is targeted this. There it is. Yes, he is going for a 13 hatch. And we do see BigFan seeing this, and he will scout this out and see exactly what's going on. And no, okay, he's just gonna let that guy start attacking it. So he should be good. And BigFan not walling off completely. He does have an opening right here, as we saw this guy scoot on right through here, stealing the gas. Ooh, that's a big thing if you are going for a heavy gas build as a Terran or a Protoss player, to have the Zerg steal the gas, because the Zerg player can easily cancel this and have their drone back and basically walk on home. But we are seeing BigFan going for a bunker here, so we are going to see BigFan cheese a little bit or try and force the cancel on this and kind of make Iconoclast just hole up in his main base. And we do have Iconoclast putting down the spawning pool at the 16-minute mark. Or the 16, not minute mark, but the 16 supply mark. So a little bit late on the spawning pool there. Because usually when you do put a spawning pool, do a 14 hatch or 13 hatch, as we saw Iconoclast do, you want to get that spawning pool at 14. So it does finish a little bit before the hatchery, but you still do have this hatchery. But this hatchery looks like it may go down because we do have this turret, not this turret, but this bunker going here to attack it. And what we should see doing is Iconoclast throwing down a spine crawler to deal with this bunker. And we do not see that at this point in time. When we see 2 more Marines streaming down here to start attacking this, just basically put them in the bunker and you'll be set. And yes, it does look like Iconoclast is going to give up on this, but he does have the 2 larvae down here that he can use if he so chooses to build some units, and he does have 3. And it looks like he is building 2 Zerglings there. I don't know why I was Zerglings like that. I don't usually stutter, but I was Zerglings. And he did not, and Iconoclast did not cancel this gas. If he wanted to, he could have canceled this gas, gotten the resources back and the drone back, but this does just stop BigFan a little bit from getting this gas, and he is going for his refinery at the other one. And we do see this Marine in here seeing what's going on for Iconoclast, and Iconoclast is getting these spine crawlers, which is the right choice to do. And will we see BigFan being able to take this out? We do see these Zerglings getting us around on some of the SCV, getting the SCV. We're seeing 1 Marine go down, and the SCV will be going down. Spine crawler fitting just in time. We do have the Queen on here, and we are seeing inject larvae used, and we do finally see Iconoclast getting his gas, and we do see 2 barracks still. So we do see BigFan still going for kind of an all-in push here with these 2 barracks, but he does not have any reactors, any tac labs, or anything. So we do see BigFan. Nope, he is not going to lose this. Those broodlords, those broodlings, not broodlords, are going to do a little bit of damage to this bunker. We do still have 2 Marines up in there, and I believe if used correctly or microed correctly, he can use these Zerglings and the Queen to take out this bunker. We do have this 1 larva here, which will unfortunately slowly die once it gets off creep. It's a sad day to be a larva. And yes, they are now attacking this extractor, and he is throwing down 2 more barracks. So looks like BigFan is going for the heavy barracks build at this point in time, and he is streaming down 1, and he still has 1 Marine left in this base. But this poor larva, he's like, I don't even know what to do, man. He's like, the creep's moving away. I just want to stay on the creep, and he's not going to be able to stay on the... and he just dies the moment the creep goes away. That sucks for him. And we are seeing these spine crawlers uprooted and going into the correct place, and we are seeing Roach Warren being placed or finishing. Didn't see the actual placement of it, and we do see the factory finally going down for BigFan. So we may see some either Hellion, because of the fact that he only knows that that Iconoclast has just Zerglings and a Queen. But we do need to see some units being made from Icono. We do see the Speedling upgrade coming right now. We are seeing him get his second extractor, and we do see BigFan. I believe he took out an Overlord there, because we do see him almost supply blocked, so he will need to build some more Overlords, because he has one Roach on the way, no Overlords. And we do see BigFan getting this refinery, and building an engineering bay in the back. And we do see a starport now going down for BigFan. So maybe a heavy Marine Marauder ball. It's quite possible for that to happen. And he does have the tech lab, so we will be seeing some tanks, unless if he does get an armory to pull out some Thors for some endgame macro-ish style play. And we do see these spine crawlers now coming down here to start dealing damage to this. But I believe Icono now knows that this is empty. Yep, he now knows this is empty, but will BigFan can't like resalvage that? And I don't believe he did, but it's quite possible because I wasn't really paying attention to the minerals. But both players having more than enough minerals to basically macro out for quite a while. And we do need to see more drones being utilized and put onto this extractor so that he can make more roaches and possibly go into a spire to start pumping out some Mutalisk for a little bit of harassment here on the mineral line. Because what Iconoclast needs to be doing right now is trying to get harassment out on this mineral line so that he can be ahead of BigFan in the mineral production. But we do see BigFan putting down a bunker here to basically putting down two bunkers here to basically complete the wall off of his main base. And we do see the factory producing a siege tank with siege tech, so we will see some either heavy turtle from BigFan here, or we might see a push out once the siege tech is complete, and just basically pushing out and sieging up in the back here to start taking out like quite a few like these spine crawlers to take them out, so that he does basically make out Iconoclast stay on one base. But we do see Iconoclast finally trying to take the second base yet again, and we see this guy. Where is he going? We're just gonna follow him. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but it looks like they are just basically flying. Like they have no feet, no nothing. Sick camera skills there too. Wow, 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 wow. Alright, I'm gonna zoom back out. And what is he doing? Because he has no more than... Oh, so he is taking a third base. Okay. So it's a little bit later than when a Zerg player really does want to take a Zerg base if they are going to be macroing up for the play. And we are seeing inject larvae being utilized on both of those hatcheries, so we will see more and more drones being produced and more units being produced, because if we go to the units tab, we do see 34 drones to 24 SCVs, so Iconoclast is ahead of the economy here just by a little bit. But that mule, because of the mule being there, the economy boosts up for the Terran player. We are seeing combat shield being researched, and I believe he just finished stim. No, he did not just finish stim pack, but he only has one tech lab. He needs to get like a reactor on these two, or a tech lab on these two, and a reactor or tech lab on this one also. But he does have two medevacs out, so he will have a decent sized army here, especially with these medevacs, to heal his units to pretty much full if they are going to be at full HP. And Icono does not have enough units here at this little point here where it looks like he would be able to like try and defend against or to stop an attack. And he also doesn't even have enough units at his main base to defend against anything, because he only has one roach and 13 lings, and looks like all 13 lings, yes, all 13 lings are right here. So if BigFan does move out right now, I don't believe Iconoclast will be able to hold this off, especially with only 13 lings and one roach. And he just keeps droning up. What we need to see from Iconoclast is utilizing this Queen's energy to keep injecting the larva every single time he can inject larva on here, or every time the larva pops off. But we also need to see Iconoclast building more attacking units, because you do not want a Terran player to get ahead of you as a Zerg player in supply, because if they do get ahead of you as in supply, it's going to be very hard for you to hold off. And it does look like BigFan is going to be moving out here. He just needs to move these guys out. And is he going to siege up right here? He is sieging up here, just short of the range of these Zerglings. but will he be able to see this? No, he does not see that these Zerglings are there. And I don't believe Icono knows that anything is going to be going on over here. He does have this Hellion here, so this Hellion will be able to deal with any of the Zerglings that are there, but also the tanks will do massive amounts of damage. So actually we could see a Baneling, we actually should see a Baneling nest from Icono here to help deal with that mass ball of Marines. Kind of like have the roaches kind of focus on them, and then have the Banelings come in from behind, and then just basically through everything, because we do see Icono having a ton of minerals, like way too many minerals. He needs to now just start building units, like as many units as he possibly can. Maybe getting a few more buildings, like getting a hatchery in his main base, so he has that extra, like those extra larvae, so he can create more units, because he has more than enough to put like 1 or 2 bases in his base. But we are seeing BigFan moving out right now, and BigFan, it looks like, will be able to, yeah, BigFan is going to be able to just decimate through here, and he is going to take out this creep tumor. Just sieging up. There's really no need to siege up against that, and yeah, Icono not going to be able to hold off from this, and just basically throwing away his units, and BigFan just moving in here, going to easily be able to pick off these spine crawlers with these tanks. As long as he moves them up here and just places them right in the line here, he'll be able to take out all 3 of these spine crawlers. And Iconoclast trying to help and trying to build more of these, but these are not going to be able to stand against these tanks. The tank's just taking everything out. And Iconoclast streaming Zergs here. He needs to surround these tanks, and that is exactly what he is doing. He's trying to get the surround on all these tanks, but these Zergs being taken out from the Marines. And there's really nothing that Iconoclast can do at this point in time, because he did not macro up correct, or he didn't really macro up at all. He basically just went droned and droned and droned and droned instead of building any units whatsoever. And all of those things all of those spine crawlers going down. He is going to be losing this base. Every single drone being killed. He needs to pull the drones off the line and try and get them into safety, but it's not going to happen. And those roaches just now spawning and dying almost instantly, and Icono not having a big enough army, not having barely any upgrades. He's +1 armor, and we see +1 armor for the Marines also, but he is supply capped. But, well, actually he isn't really supply capped. The Terran player is supply capped, but he has more than enough units to clean everything up here. I don't know how Iconoclast is going to hold this off unless he has a huge army at his expansion. And no, he isn't even using the Queen's Inject Larva ability either. So we are seeing BigFan going to be taking this game, mainly because we did see Iconoclast not really macroing up correctly. He's going to try and get this round with all of these units, but these things are going to siege up just in the nick of time and just basically blast everything away. Drones just going down in one shot, losing every single drone, losing the Queen, the Roach, and everything. And I'm moving my mic because my ear itches. And Iconoclast throwing down the GG. So seeing BigFan going in with a huge bio ball, so we could, and Iconoclast not even macroing up correctly. He had almost 3,000 minerals and almost 2,500 gas. So Iconoclast having a ton of minerals and gas that he could have actually utilized correctly if he did build another hatchery in his base, maybe gone for another expansion, and just basically tried to macro up as much as possible. Because as a Zerg player, that's what you want to do against a Terran player if you are pushed into the mid to late game, is macro up as much as possible. Get as many units out as you possibly can. Get the right unit combination, because here the perfect combination for this more than likely would have been some burrowed roaches, kind of like burrow around, like under these Marines, right on top of the tanks, taking out the tanks, burrowed back down, and then taking out all of the Marines the moment they were up. But because Iconoclast didn't really have, like, he did have a lead there at the end, like when he did put that second hatchery down, but because he basically let his minerals get out of control and not spend them, that's mainly the reason why he lost, is because he has so many minerals and he didn't spend them when he should have been spending them. So, and BigFan also, no reactors or tech labs on 3 of his barracks, and the starport, no reactor or tech lab. Even if he is just going for medevacs, you could get the reactor to push out a ton of medevacs, and not even utilizing this this expansion here. So both players doing a little bit sloppy work. Could have seen a little bit more unit composition from BigFan here. Maybe actually, yeah, that's about average for a Terran player, having the Marine, Marauder, Tank, Medevac. Maybe gone for some Thors just for shits. But yeah, like I said, the reactors, tech labs on his barracks, and maybe going maybe doing the expansion a little bit sooner, but he was kind of prepared for if any Hydralisks, not Hydralisks, but Immutas did come in, and we actually could have seen some Hydras from Iconoclast. But yeah, don't forget to comment, thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And if you want to send me a replay, send it to unassortedreplays@gmail.com. Leave me a brief description, like what it is, TVP, TvZ, PvZ, PvP, TVT, ZVZ, whatever. And, you know, like leave a brief description of if you lost, how do I fix this, or what do I do to counter, etc., etc. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.